In an exclusive interview, Melissa DeBoer came to Crime Watch Daily to tell her incredible story. 34 years ago, Melissa was certain she had rightfully put Rodney Lincoln behind bars for murdering her mom, Joanne Tate, and leaving her and her 4-year-old sister Renee gasping for their lives. Too afraid, Melissa couldn't watch the show when it first aired. But when she did, something happened that no one expected. No one, especially Melissa herself.
Talk to me about why we're here and what is making you sit in this chair here today.
While watching the show, a realization came to Melissa that could prove radically life-changing for everyone involved.
I started to watch it, and I watched it up into the mugshots.
Whose mugshot?
Tommy Linsel's. As soon as I saw it, I thought I was gonna vomit. I felt like I had to hide, that I was in danger at that moment, like he was gonna hurt me. His hair, it just took me to this very dark place. I just knew that I had to look back, really look at my memory of what happened.
The images had literally triggered Melissa. The life-changing realization led to a floodgate of emotions and a stunning bombshell.
Rodney did not kill my mom. He did not try to kill Renee and I. Rodney was never in my house that night, never. It was Tommy.
Melissa immediately reached out to her family, who confessed their own doubts about Rodney Lincoln's guilt. Then, she took to social media to share her epiphany. Feeling supported on both fronts, she gave herself permission to dive into the deep, dark past.
I started to think, is this what you remember or what you think you should remember? And I gave the little girl inside me permission to not see Rodney in those memories. Once I gave myself permission not to see him, I saw Tommy.
The memories that came back were sporadic, illuminating, and horrifying.
I remember his whiskers up against my face because he kept trying to kiss me. Even though you knew he was enjoying hurting me, his expression was so blank. I see him stomping on the back of my mom's head. I see him working on my mom's car in front of the house.
The heart-stopping realization led to her next dramatic move. She called Rodney Lincoln's daughter, Kay Lincoln.
I didn't want to talk to anybody that day but her. I was crying so hard I couldn't talk. She's like, Melissa, don't be scared. And she cried, and she was so thankful.
But how can Melissa be so sure? Just a few weeks ago, she was positive Rodney Lincoln was the one who attacked her family.
You sat across from me and looked me in my eye and knew deep in your heart,
Without a shadow of a doubt
that he did it.
Yeah.
You went to every parole hearing when he was up for parole.
Right.
You were there to make sure he stayed behind bars.
Right. I actually wrote letters to him in the prison when I found out he was moved in a general population, and I put his charges on the front so he'd get beat up. It was almost like what happened to me was a script that I knew by heart. I knew how the next part came out, but I really don't think I allowed myself to really get back in that moment and experience it.
Melissa says she's not sure who is to blame.
Originally, I had the right information, and I think that over time, I started to mix up the details of Tommy and Rodney. Suddenly, I was aware that the bad man was Rodney. He was already in that system, and it was easy. They were trying to get someone behind bars.
All she knows was that she was a child who wanted to help.
I felt that was my bigger old responsibility to make sure the bad man went to prison.
And Melissa now wants to make things right for Rodney Lincoln.
This is my recanting of my prior testimony. This is me saying what was done to this man was wrong. No matter what it cost me, I'm dedicated to getting him out of there. Rodney does not deserve to be there.
Melissa says she's been searching for peace her whole life, and now she's found it.
I, for the first time in 34 years, have stillness and peace. I feel my mom with me. She's saying, finally, this is right. Everything is right.
Melissa says participating in the show will have positive effects for both her and Rodney, and for that, she's thankful.
I was wrong, and now I can help him walk free.
Now on the journey to right this wrong, Melissa's first stop will be understandably filled with anxiety.
I got on a plane today with the intention to make things right here in St. Louis. And part of it was getting to talk to the daughter of the man that I wrongfully imprisoned. And I wanted to see her.
Talk to me about, over the years, your relationship with Kay has not been the best. It's been very contentious.
It's been very contentious. There's been times I was hostile towards her. And you know, one of my greatest regrets was actually putting that out in the media. I made anybody that was in any way taking away the validity of what I was saying, I made them an enemy.
So looking back on all of this, what are your regrets?
That I didn't come across an opportunity to review the facts. You know, I feel like if someone would have said to me, Melissa, you know, because these are people I respected and cared about in the judicial system, and I feel like if one of them would have said to me, you know, Melissa, I feel like we didn't have all the facts. Why don't we look at this again? I would have listened to them, you know, but it was because of Crime Watch Daily that I was shown the information, you know, and I have a feeling it was something between, you know, just the crime scenes and different information. It was the mug shot, though,
That really
brought it back. It was the first time I was given a complete picture of what happened to my mom and what happened to us, and it filled in the blanks of the things I didn't know, and it triggered things that I had repressed. The Crime Watch Daily was a blessing for me and my family, and of course for Kay and Rodney and their family. And I feel like because of you guys, we can actually move on to beautiful life and beautiful things and healing on both sides, you know, and we can't get back what we've lost, but we could certainly make something new and beautiful together.
What about Kay?
I want to hug her and hold her, and I want her to look in my eyes and know that I am here to help her dad.
Coming up, once mortal enemies, will the two now become steadfastly aligned on the same side of justice?